Owens herself would shift her position from supporting Turning Point USA or even Ben Shapiro at the Daily Wire, and she would also quote-unquote wake up to see what Israel, in her opinion, was doing in Palestine. And then she would come out and make extreme cases like this.
I just hope everybody recognizes that, like, when it all comes down, they'll kill you too. Like, I just want to make sure, like, it's just, when you get to the point where you have to, like, start saying that it's, like, cool for, like, innocent babies and children to die, and you're like, well, I'm in the crowd that's saying it, so my innocent children and babies won't die. No, that's not really how it works. When you get to the level of I will kill a child and lie about it, you're at the level where I'll kill anybody and lie about it. Like, there's a bigger thing happening here. So don't think you're, like, marked safe by being a sellout and pretending like you don't think that, you know, babies dying is wrong. Just want to let you know, you die too. Maybe they kill you last, but you're dying too. Just putting that out there.
Damn!
And then, flat out, she was asked one day on the stream.
Eddie writes, can you please interview Farrakhan? He's in his 90s. I actually don't know anything about Louis Farrakhan. Because when I got into politics, I was always told you can never speak about or know anything about Louis Farrakhan because he's a raging anti-Semite, and I believe that. To be honest, I totally believe that. Because why would people say that if it wasn't true? And these were people very much on the right. And yeah, just going to go ahead and be honest about that. That was what I was told.
Candace Owens is asked flat out to interview Louis Farrakhan. And that specifically, she was told that Louis Farrakhan should be avoided because he was anti-Semite. But now we see that Candace Owens is agreeing with Louis Farrakhan on many things, especially when it comes to the Jews. But wait, that's what? In Candace Owens' career, she has been used to come after Black America, to build her audience. But now, as time has gone on, she's now identifying and agreeing with at least some of the things that Louis Farrakhan is saying. She's never coming out and says, you know what, he's right. But she did criticize him early on, and now she's agreeing with his talking points without actually apologizing for what she's done. And I want to give a big shout out to where I actually got this video idea from, and it was from The Real Dana. Candace Owens admits she was wrong about Louis Farrakhan. Give her a round of applause for this great video. But there's something else I want to talk about. What if she's wrong about something else?
Woo!
The one thing about getting older is that you figure out that your positions are wrong about many things. You start to see the world for what it really is and not what you thought it was to be. Just as Candace Owens was told to stay away from Louis Farrakhan because he was an anti-Semite, many of us in the Black American community were told that we needed to get away from our own group because our group was toxic. There's the same thing that my mom told me. Is the same thing that you need to get away from Black people and move to middle America and, you know, work for a good corporation and just retire. That's what we've also been taught. But what I've seen from other groups that come into America, Hispanics, Indians, is that they appreciate their people and work with their people and they value their people. And so when they're able to do that, they're able to scale and they're able to grow. And Candace Owens most likely has been told the same thing about Blacks. The more she's going down this rabbit hole, the more she's getting away from how she started. And so I wonder, is she ever gonna admit that white racism against Blacks is actually real? Is she ever gonna admit that her position on Black people is wrong? Is she gonna ever admit that Farrakhan is also right on race relations? Because if he's also right about the quote-unquote Jew situation, what else is he right about? He has to be right also about white supremacy, doesn't he? By default, if you agree with Louis Farrakhan, when it comes to the Jews, as you would say, then there is no way that you could disagree with him about other points of white supremacy.
Just for clarity's sake here, because I am screen recording this to put it up for the young brother because it already got blocked. I'm a 5%er. We're a part of the Nation of Islam. Brother Clarence 13 Nick separated us from the Nation of Islam for reasons you can study and find out on your own. So when it comes to the brother minister, I have all due respect for him. We just happen to disagree on some things. It would have something to do with white supremacy and Farad Muhammad. After that, we're going to let this brother end this thing so I can go ahead and put this up.
Supremacy or supremacy in America towards Blacks. You can't disagree with that. to accept one and not accept the other is complete insanity. So if Candace Owens would accept or at least agree in point that Louis Farrakhan was right all along about a certain particular group, then she must also believe that his wisdom and knowledge must also indicate that he is right about other things. And then that would break Candace Owens' arguments about IQ with Black American violence, all of these other things. She would have to reconsider her position. But doing so would lose her position with her current audience. And so what she will do now is she will most likely agree with Louis Farrakhan with that, and the other things that she also will find out, she would ignore it. Because to understand that truth means losing your entire audience. And this is why, for me, I didn't think that it was cool to become like a real big-time Black conservative Republican audience, or go down that route, or me myself getting funded by Turning Point USA, because I already knew where it would end up, and it would end up in a very disingenuous position. Don't get me wrong, I am more right-leaning in my political views, and that's just how I am and always are going to be like that. But I'm not so much more right-leaning that I'm more white-leaning. Woo! I may vote for the right, but I work for the Black. If you come onto the landscape talking about Black America and the Black community as you were in 2018 against Louis Farrakhan and Al Sharpton, and now you're not talking about that at all, then something must be interesting about that needs to be discovered. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.